And the ceasefire between Israel and Iran, brokered by President Trump, appears to be holding this morning. The president says the U.S. will meet with Iranian officials next week for nuclear talks. Watch.
We're going to talk to them next week with Iran. We may sign an agreement. I don't know. To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought. Now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not. The only thing we'd be asking for is what we were asking for before about we want no nuclear, but Iran will not have nuclear. Well, we blew it up. It's blown up to kingdom come. And so I don't feel very strongly about it. If we got a document, wouldn't be bad. We're going to meet with them.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe confirming that Operation Midnight Hammer on Iran caused, quote, severe damage to Tehran's nuclear capabilities. He said, quote, CIA can confirm that a body of credible intelligence indicates Iran's nuclear program has been severely damaged by the recent targeted strikes. This includes new intelligence from an historically reliable and accountable source method that several key Iranian nuclear sites and facilities were destroyed and would have to be rebuilt over the course of years, writes the director at the CIA. Joining me now is former CIA station chief and Fox News contributor Daniel Hoffman. Dan, good to see you. Of course, we're waiting this morning. The Defense Department and Secretary Pete Hegseth will hold a briefing at 8 a.m. Eastern. But your thoughts on Ratcliffe's confirmation there?
Yeah, I think we're still in the initial stages, and that's why that leak of the Defense Intelligence Agency intelligence report was so problematic, because we're still gathering the intelligence on this strike. Now, these were an extraordinary series of strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, incredible tactical success, but now we need to do the battle damage assessment, and it does take some time to do it. Those are mutually exclusive. I can tell you from my own experience, launching kinetic strikes on military targets, threats to our national security is challenging, and we can have great success in doing that, but it doesn't mean we always hit the target that we wish. Now, in this case, we did inflict massive damage on Iran's nuclear sites, but there are questions about centrifuges that maybe hadn't been installed and the disposition of the 400 kilograms of enriched uranium to 60% and where that might be. So, look, the president demonstrated that we can bomb Iran at will, and Iran really is unable to respond. That means we own escalation dominance, and we can conclude this threat to our national security as we see fit. I do think we need a treaty. I think we do need verification on the ground with inspectors, and we have the authority and demonstrated the power to make that happen.
Yeah, it's a great analysis. What do you want to see out of this meeting this next week between Iranian and U.S. officials, Dan?
Well, I think that the United States has emphasized, the president has emphasized that Iran can't enrich any uranium. And I think we're the ones who can decide how we conclude this facet post-war. And if the president believes that we need to negotiate a deal, which I think we should, then we have these discussions with the Iranians. And we open up the opportunity, as the president has said, of eliminating sanctions and bringing Iran back to the fold economically, which is what their regime would want. I think concurrently, over to Director of CIA Ratcliffe to collect the intelligence on reflections inside Iran, the clerics, the military, their intelligence services, and how they're reacting to this. But Iran needs to open up about their nuclear facilities, and I think that's got to be a stipulation for whatever steps we take going forward.
I wonder if that's even possible with the current regime in place.
That's true. It may indeed be challenging. But again, we've demonstrated that we kind of hold all the military cards here, and we can take whatever further steps we might need to take if we need to.
Meanwhile, the president meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the NATO summit yesterday, saying things went very well. President Trump also saying that he'll speak with Putin to end the war. Here's what he said about the Russian president yesterday. Watch this.
Secretary General Rutte has described President Putin as an adversary, a threat, an enemy. Do you view him the same way? And he has said that Mr. Putin has territorial ambitions beyond Ukraine. Do you view that in the same way?
It's possible. I mean, it's possible. I know one thing, he'd like to settle. He'd like to get out of this thing. It's a mess for him. I consider him a person that's, I think, been misguided. I'm very surprised, actually. I thought we would have had that settled easier. Look, Vladimir Putin really has to end that war. People are dying at levels that people haven't seen before for a long time.
What do you think, Daniel? I mean, do you think President Trump could get this war ended?
Well, look, the president has tried. He's done everything he could to entice Vladimir Putin to the bargaining table and given Putin lots of ways out to get out of a war that's caused reportedly 1 million Russian casualties.
Yeah.
This is a loser for Putin. But it's as if, Vladimir Putin's strategic goal was to topple the government of Kyiv and install a puppet regime. He hasn't achieved that, and he carries on fighting this war as long as he possibly can. I think the president's comments were strong and forceful and important as well, that we got Europe and NATO member partners to get their defense spending up to 5% so we could deter any future Russian aggression, to which the president alluded.
Yeah, great point. Daniel, good to talk with you. Thanks so much. Daniel Hoffman.